Hello everyone, back again. Time for another update. It's been a while since I posted my last video, and I have been working on the layout, but not as much as I would have liked. But I'm finally back at it again, so I'll run you through what I've been up to since the last time. First of all, I've started here to place some cardboard down to give some structure to the area around the station. I decided I don't want it all to be flat. I think that looks rather boring, so I'm going to build this area up here a little bit more, and then I'm going to have some sort of building up here. Still not sure what that will be. Possibly a church or a country inn of some sort. We have the road coming around here. We'll sweep around here, then there'll be the car park for the station. There'll be a little road coming up to whatever building goes here, and that should take care of that area. I have in this area put the plaster cloth down and painted it brown in readiness for putting some static grass on here. I have worked on this area here. Take you in just a little bit. You can see the various tones of grass that I've laid down. One of the reasons I stopped as well was I ran out of static grass. So I've got some more now, so I will be able to continue. Various shades, and I'm just going to mix them together so I can have sort of varying colours of grass instead of the same tone all the way through. And I've walked around the signal here as well. I've covered up the point motor underneath some gravel sheet and then blended it all in. And one of the other things that I've been working on, it's taken quite a time for me to do, is the pathway, if you will, from the station platform to cross the tracks and go around the other side. If you may remember, in a previous video I made some steps which were on this side, but after looking at all the levels and everything, I thought it didn't make much sense to have steps going all the way down to this level here, and then you'd have to have some steps to go up to cross over the track. So I made this all the same level, and there's just a tiny step that I put in to get onto the platform. And as I did with the platform on the other side, I've just cut out bits of plastic and sanded the edging, rounded them a little bit and laid them down to get a slab type effect, and then I filled in the spaces with some very fine dirt, and then just glued it all in with a PVA water mix. And I have to say, I think that's turned out quite well. And then I have the walkway boards, planks in the middle of the track. In fact, if I just move this back just a little bit, we can see the whole effect. So passengers can cross over onto the platform on the other side. I painted these all various tones of grey, and then I've weathered them in with some weathering powders, dust, dirt colour, etc., just to give it that worn look. I will be putting some railings along here on this side and on this side here. So that took me a long time to do. It's quite a delicate job to get them all roughly the same size and get them all to match so that it looked purposely built instead of just being thrown down. Get the rows and straight. So it took a bit of time for me to do that. The next stage I'm going to do is behind here. I have decided I am going to build this up a little bit so that there'll be a slope from the back of this wall up to something roughly about that sort of height. It's about 10 centimeters or so. I can put some trees and what have you on there. I think that will make a good backdrop when I look at it from this angle. And then the other plans, as I said before, do something similar on this side behind the little goods shed. So that is actually the next bit that I'm going to be doing, is putting the landscape, building it all up there, and then I will be progressing onto the back scenes, which I showed in a previous video. I've decided that will be the next job to do, because I can't work all the way to the edge. As you see, I've left a gap there for the back scene to go down. So the back scenes will be going up very soon. I'm not sure how successful that's going to be. I do need to put more of this thin board on the back, because the back scenes are approximately 38 centimeters tall, which is actually about here. So I'm going to cut a thin strip of this along and just attach it and make sure it's all level and straight, and then I can attach the back scenes to that. And I've mentioned before, I think, that I'm going to use double-sided tape to hold it in place. I'm not going to glue the whole back scene onto the hard board here. I don't want the back scenes to wrinkle up with wallpaper paste or the glue or whatever you would use for that. I think just using some double-sided tape just along the top will be more than adequate, and then in a few places at the bottom as well, just to keep it in place and to keep it relatively flat. It shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, here to get to the bottom to the top is easy enough. I just have to carefully remove the houses and trees, etc., all along here to there, and then take like a scraper, thin piece of metal, and just go along the back, gently cutting the landscape and detaching it from the backboard, because it is actually glued along the edge. If you can see closely, the static grass is being glued right onto the backboard, which, in hindsight, the back scene should have been done first, and then the landscape built up to it, similar to what I'm going to do over here. But if I'm careful and just cut away with a very sharp blade, wallpaper, scraper, I should be able to get that detached quite easily without damaging anything. And then I can just slide the back scene down between the board and the cut that I've made, and then fasten it, as I said, with the double-sided tape. From here is relatively easy, because it's just the flat surface. A little bit careful I need to be here with the fence that I have, and again the grass in this sort of park area. Again, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. And then the same from here to there, no problem at all. The back scene will just come down, and then the same as I said before, I'll just take a sharp blade and cut along the back, so I can just slide the back scene down and attach it. I will have to start in this corner here and work my way this way along. I don't want to start sort of halfway in between and then have to cut the back seam, or potentially have it too short and then show some gaps. I'll start right in the corner there, move along, have the one join. I think it worked out, it's going to be approximately here, and then the next one will come along to approximately, well, I actually think it's about here, and then the last one will go all the way along to there. One from here to here, where the join is, the landscape is meant to, well, the two back seams are meant to be joined together here, so it will look continuous. The issue, I said before, is the one that goes here will not match exactly, but I can live with that because, as I said, I want the town back seam that I have, which is actually taller than the 38 centimeters I said. I'll have to cut the bottom off of that so the whole skyline comes down a little bit, but that'll be fine. I'll experiment with that a little bit, but I'm sure that's going to be good. And then it's just a case of doing all of this and getting it done, and then once it's done, protecting the back seam with some plastic sheet that I've got, and then I can finish off the rest of the landscape here and the painting, etc. So I've talked for quite a bit here. Just wanted to show you again some of the work that I've done. I've just been taking my time, trying to do it as carefully as I can, just trying to get it right. This here is all been glued now for a few days, and it's all solid and not moving. Quite happy with that. I'm going to do the same here, and then I can start worrying about sort of managing the landscape, shaping it the way I want it to look, and then all the detail work afterwards. I've got the static grass down, but there's obviously going to be bushes and some trees added as well, and the same here. This will all be trees and some bushes on the slope and what have you. I still haven't decided what I'm doing here. I'll probably leave that till the very last, as I said, and decide how I'm going to deal with this area. Okay, that's all for now. There will be a small running session after this, just to see some trains moving around the landscape. So I hope you've enjoyed this update, and as always, keep watching, and we'll see how this turns out. Bye for now. here we have some of the landscape that I mentioned earlier that I'm building up. I'm just holding it down with some tubs, heavy items, just so it stays in place while the glue sets. So next time you see me, or next time I upload a video, I should hopefully have this whole area covered in plaster cloth, blended in with this, and have my hill in the background, which I think once it's covered with a few trees and grass, etc., I think will look very nice there in the background of the station, and also will blend in, I think, very nicely with the back scene that I spoke about earlier. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, bye.